how to conduct online interactive sessions with our students. This is the title of the session, and the topics that we intend to cover during these sessions are: what are the prerequisites at the teacher's end, and the prerequisites required to be met at the student's end, and the basic ground rules for the online interaction, and the structure and preparation of the content prior to the interactions, as well as the option for recording the interactive sessions for reuse purpose, and then finally the discussions and questions, if any. So at the teacher's end, the prerequisites are obviously a notebook or a desktop PC with proper internet connectivity. And one very important item is actually the power backup, because due to power cuts, the interaction may get hampered. So appropriate arrangement for the power backup is essentially needed. In case of notebooks, there is a battery, so it might be meaningful to keep the notebook fully charged prior to the starting the interaction, so that during the course of the interaction there is no issue with the battery backup. And then there is a requirement of ICT enabled platform which needs to be used for the interactive sessions. There are a variety of platforms that some of them we will be using during the course of this online teachers training. Now, other prerequisites include the valid contact details, which means email IDs and phone numbers of all the students with whom we want to interact. And obviously the interaction plan with the structured and organized content, and closed looping. Often we as teacher ask some questions to check the level of understanding or the message that we have been trying to deliver in the class, how much, to what extent it has been understood. So we often during physical interaction in the class, face-to-face interaction during the physical classes, we often see the faces of the students and ask questions to check whether the message has been received properly or not, and answers to those questions often help us to re-articulate our assertions so that the students can understand. Now, these are all 6 basic prerequisites on the teacher's end. At the student's end, the prerequisites include, again, either a notebook or a desktop PC with internet connectivity, obviously, and the power backup. Or the student can also join with smartphones with obviously the internet connectivity. Could be the mobile data or the Wi-Fi connectivity as applicable. Then the student also needs to have the invitation with the online meeting credentials for attending the online classes. So these are all the 2 prerequisites at the student's end. Now, in order for us to make sure that the interactions are optimum, we need to set some ground rules. If we don't set ground rules, then there will be a lot of unwanted interactions within the class, which will cause disturbance to the all others who are in the class. In a physical class, if there are some students who are talking and making noise, then teacher can say that, please keep quiet, and he can physically control. But here in case of online interaction, the students or the audiences are spread, so they may be doing some interactions which might be hampering the presenter. So there needs to be certain ground rules which needs to be set right in the beginning, so that the time is optimally used and there are no challenges. For instance, the picture on the screen is actually talking about trying to give a message that sometimes people will be talking about things, discussing their respective. For example, this picture says whether it is 6 or 9. It is actually both of them are correct, but it's a question of perspective. But the fact remains, if they start doing this kind of an interaction during an online session, then it will cause disturbance. So there needs to be a ground rules: what can be discussed, what cannot be discussed, how it should be discussed during the online interactions. So for that purpose, there are some ground rules. Generally accepted ground rules are the online classes, some disciplines for a student. For example, when a student joins the class, the video camera should remain off by default, so that it puts less burden on the bandwidth on his side also, as well as it does not deviate the attention of the presenter. And so the best practices are keep the video camera off until you are asked to do so as a participant, and the microphone should remain on mute by default. These are all some of the generally accepted good practices which we can educate our students, that when we are doing our online interaction in the classes, our students should keep these settings, what we have defined as default settings. And then if the presenter needs to raise some issue or discuss something, then he should raise hand and seek the permission of the teacher, so that there is no crosstalk. And then there are some text chats options available in some platforms which can be used to flag the question on the text chat, so that when the teacher is presenting a topic, students, if they have any questions, they can send a text chat which teacher can read, and towards the end of the class or during the time reserved for the question and answer, those questions can be taken by the teacher and then shared with all the audience, and so that the answers are available to all, and those will be more organized. Then there needs to be some ground rules about late joining. Suppose if the meeting or the online interaction is scheduled from 9 to 10, then up to what time the people can join. In our physical classes, different teachers have different level of flexibility. Some people don't mind people coming late few minutes. Some people are very particular that you should be right at 9 o'clock, and after 9 or after 9:10 or 9:05 I will not allow you. So it depends, but whatever are the ground rules set by the teacher, they must be clearly articulated, so that the students understand the mutual expectations. And then there are what would be the applicability of the attendance, who attended, who did not attend, can also be part of the ground rules. There could be some more ground rules which teachers, basis their experience, can add, but these are all some generally accepted good practices to have some ground rules, so that the interaction is focused and the less time is consumed in the gaps because of not understanding or not following the ground rules. Then as far as preparing the contents are concerned, typically in our classes we generally prepare and use slides for interaction. In our university there are a lot of smart classes have been provisioned by the university, and we use those classes. So when we walk into those classes, we bring our own presentations, which we run the slides, and then those slides are used as the object for interaction while presenting those slides. So that is applicable here in virtual classes also. So the presenter will run the slides through, and the content will be shared with all the audiences. And sometimes during the course of interaction, there may be a need to refer to relevant published contents available in the public domain. For instance, some sites referring to the details of the topic that we are talking about can also be referred. Then there are concepts of whiteboard in most of these platforms which are used for online interaction. These whiteboards are very similar to the whiteboards we got in our classes or smart classes, where we can explain the content using the whiteboard. So this using whiteboard is also an item for the online interaction, where what all teacher explains on the whiteboard can be saved and then subsequently transferred through email or to the students, or uploaded in the Google Classroom or whatever. So there are multiple provisions to share whatever is there on the whiteboard, so that the students can focus on the discussion, and content can be shared. And then there are ways and means of verification and validation. Even in this case, so while conducting the online interaction, teacher can ask questions, students can respond. Those questions can be asked directly on the using the microphone, or there could, and while responding to those questions, the specific audience can unmute and respond to those questions. Those questions can also be put through text chat, and the responses can also be on the part of the text chat. That would be that's also an option. And then some tools do provide an option of polling. So while we are doing the online interaction using some platform, we could use the polling options of that platform to validate the responses. So suppose if we have got a class of 50 students, and we open a poll, so ask the students to respond immediately in 30 seconds, they can respond, and then aggregated response are visible, that can also be shared on the screen. So these are all some of the useful methods quite relevant to online interactions. Now here are some examples. So for example, this presentation is being used to deliver content. This presentation is being used to deliver this content, and as a part of the this presentation, I have prepared some URLs. For example, if I am using the content for running the some URLs, so those URLs can be referred while we are addressing our interaction with the students. And so these tools help, or the platform that we use for interaction help the presenter or the teacher to share these contents. So we will have a demo on the tool that we are using for this platform. And so we'll have the demo of the tool of the whiteboard feature, and we will also have a demo of the poll questions and discussion forum and online quizzes that can be performed using the platform available. Now, often there is a need is felt to record the session, and this session recording includes the video recording as well as the audio recording option, and then the content before the sending it to the target audience needs review and approval of the content author. So that the review, first level of review from the content author, and then the whatever process of approval, if any, so for the quality control of the content. It could be the video content, it could be the audio, or it could be both. So like this session, what all we are doing, we are recording, and we can upload this finally on the on some platform wherein the participants can refer the content through this video, through the recorded version of this interaction. Now, these are all the basic items that we intended to cover here. Now, I believe that there are some questions that the participants may be having, and we have reserved some 15 minutes for questions and answers, and obviously some time for the demo of the tool that we are actually using. During the course of this session, this online teachers training, there will be multiple tools being used. For instance, we have got some session on the Moodle, sessions on the Google Classroom. So those tools will help us apply what all we have spoken here in past few slides. So application of that will be clearer when we have gone through those sessions, and we will be in a better position to have visibility on the options available in this tool to apply these some basic discussions that we have had on the interactions while interacting with the students. So I would request the participants to please note down the questions at their end, and we will take up those questions separately. We can consolidate the questions, and we'll have a question answer discussion shortly. So thanks everyone for being patient with us, and thanks for your time, valuable time. And in the last, we wanted to say that we are very thankful to the AMU students and teachers and all the support staff, as well as the alumni, for their commitment, and the massive response has been bears a testimony to our commitment, and together we can I think go to next and higher level. And there may be challenges, hiccups here and there, which we will overcome, and I'm sure the together with your support, we can definitely achieve the higher level of excellence using the tools with all the constraints, practical constraints that we have as human beings. So thanks a lot, and we will have the interactive session for the questions and answer separately once you have had a chance to go through this content. We will reserve 10 to 15 minutes of session where we will request you to join, and we will also record the question and answer and then share with all the audience. Thanks a lot, and I appreciate your support.